ਅੱਜ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਭਾਜੀ ਹਨ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਨ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਭਾਜੀ ਸਤਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਅੱਜ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਚੰਗਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਬੇਸਿਕ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਜੋ ਕਥਾ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਦੀ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਤੇ ਬਾਣੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੂਰੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੇ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਚੈਨਲ ਤੇ
ਭਾਜੀ ਜੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ bit about yourself and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ so the ਸੰਗਤ can be aware
so पिछले I think तकरीबन 15 साल हो गए मैंने कथा करते हैं I've been doing katha at universities gurmat camps gurdware and things and मेरा जरा main जरा focus हैगा वो सिक्खी spirituality बारे meditation बारे ध्यान बारे सिक्खी दी जड़ी निचोड़ हैगी जरा key message हैगा बाणी दे के परमात्मा की है असी की है गया साडा relationship की है गुरु दे नाल and so I've been doing that for the last about 15 years or so and about sort of 5 years ago as social media was becoming more and more popular मैं देखा कि YouTube ते सिक्खी दा ज़्यादा प्रचार नहीं हो रहा there isn't too much going on in terms and especially in English so I decided that I would start recording some of the lectures that I was giving and put them online and since then there's been a lot of interest all over the world because people have started to for the first time in English try to understand ke Sikhi de vich simran te kirtan da jehड़ा डूंघियाई हैगी वो लोकी पहला पता नहीं सी होंदे कि what is that about so they've started to now explore that side and a lot of people have said that we knew that there was something deep in Sikhi but we don't seem to hear a lot about it so I think it's a very important kind of step to take forward not just for the Sikhs but actually to spread the message wider and to actually show that there is something very universal about Sikhi that isn't limited to people who just know Punjabi.
I understand. Bhaji, tell us then, you know, jada hega meditation that you're saying, could you just, I guess, explain a bit more detail of what does that involve, what does it mean?
I think firstly we need to recognize that in the world meditation has become very popular now. Everybody is talking about meditation, whether it's yoga or meditation or things like that. And so first we need to understand what meditation is and we get a lot of that gyan from Guru Sahib itself. So we are being told meditation you know bodily bahut changa honda is very good for relaxation. So what we've done is we've made meditation very simple and we hear meditation is just about relaxation and about freeing your mind and things like that but meditation is actually a lot deeper than that. What meditation is really talking about is what Gurbani is trying to say to you is that actually there is a part of you that has access to infinite happiness and ultimately what we're talking about Guruji talks time and time again about dukh par har sukh kar le jaye get rid of your troubles in life and actually find a way to get more peace in life, more happiness in life and this doesn't come just with meditation there is a combination you need if you take the example of a stool if you have a stool with one leg you can't sit on it won't be very stable if you put two legs on there it won't be very stable at least minimum you need three legs on a stool and Gurbani also gives us what I would call the three legs of this stool which is that you need gyan which is the knowledge of the Guru but you also need meditation which is dhyan but the third aspect you need is Rani. You need to actually have a lifestyle that encompasses this. So there's no use having a lifestyle where you go out and do whatever you like and then say, but on a Sunday I'll go and do a bit of meditation. It's not a holistic approach. So meditation is about connecting with a very deeper part of yourself and it means that the Gyan tells us that the mind is the cause of a lot of our problems. Meditation is to be able to allow ourselves to detach a little bit from the mind. To say, actually, I understand that my suffering isn't because of other people.
I understand.
My problems aren't because I've lost my job or because I haven't got this or that in my life. ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਪਰ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਨ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ काम क्रोध लोभ मोह अहंकार ये साडे विच ही ने ये बाहरली चीज़ां नहीं हैगियां So meditation allows you to recognize your mind and then say, okay, I don't have to engage with this all the time.
I understand. Hanji.
जिस तरह तुसी अपने मन ਨੂੰ कंट्रोल करो, mind ਉਹਦਾ ਹੀ like they're controlling us most of the time.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਭਾਜੀ ਸਤਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੇ ਲੈਂਦੀ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਪਾਠ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਨਿਤਨੇਮ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ, ਪਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਇਹੀ ਕਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ। ਉਹਦਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਦੱਸੋ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਹੀ ਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਟਕੋਜੇ ਮਨ ਕਾਬੂ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਜਾਵੇ।
This happens to everyone, and I've been hearing this for the last 15 years that I've been going to the Gurdwara and I don't really connect with it. So what we started doing about 5 years ago at the Nanak Naam charity is that we started teaching Mool Mantar.
Okay.
Right from the core. But what we did was with Mool Mantar is we delivered it over 2 days. So it took about 16 hours to go through the Mool Mantar. And in the Mool Mantar you find out that it isn't actually talking about God. Most people think that Mool Mantar is talking about God. But what we went through the meaning of every word, and we found that the Mool Mantar was talking about ourselves. So ਪਹਿਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਨ ਉਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਟਿਕਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਾਮ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਾੜੇ ਜਿਹਾ ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਤੱਕ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਬਾਰੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਚਾਨਣਾ ਪਾਓਗੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਿ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਵੇ।
ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਇੱਕ ਓਂਕਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਓਂਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਇਹ ਆਦ ਸੱਚ ਆ, ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ, ਇਹ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਟਰੂ ਆ, ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਟਰੂ ਆ, ਫੋਰਐਵਰ ਟਰੂ ਹੋਣਾ। ਤੇ ਇਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਆ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਹੈਗਾ ਅਦਵੈਤ ਧਰਮ ਦੀ। ਅਦਵੈਤ ਧਰਮ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਨੌਨ ਡਿਊਐਲਿਟੀ। And when people start hearing about this, they say, "Chalo, ये तो ਹੁਣ ਬਹੁਤ deep ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ." But essentially, ਇੱਕ ਓਂਕਾਰ does not mean there is one God. What we translate, there is one God. What we've done with all of Sikhi and with life in general, with Gurbani, with the Gurus, is ਅਸੀਂ God ਨੂੰ ਦੂਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ। Yeah, God ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਭੇਜਤਾ। You know, God is somewhere else. ਇੱਕ ਓਂਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ you are God. And that's a fundamentally different message to what you read in the translations. That God isn't, I like to call this character that we've created Mr. God. ਅਸੀਂ Mr. God ਨੂੰ ਪੂਜਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ? Mr. God ਨੂੰ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਾਂ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ ਉਹ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ। ਤੇ when something good happens ਅਸੀਂ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੂੰ ਥੈਂਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਦੋਂ something bad happens ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਚਲੋ ਰੱਬ ਦਾ ਪਾਣਾ ਆ, ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੂੰ ਦੂਰ ਰੱਖਿਆ। ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਦੂਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੇਰੋ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪਿਆਰਾ। Yeah, it's not far away. Yeah, it's somewhere within you. And Gurbani goes as far as saying that ਮਨ ਤੂੰ ਜੋਤ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੈ, ਆਪਣਾ ਮੂਲ ਪਛਾ। ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਨੈਕਟ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ? ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੱਬ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੂਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਦਾ ਇਹੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰੱਬ ਅੰਦਰ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਪਛਾਣਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ, ਆਪਣਾ ਮੂਲ ਪਛਾਣ। ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਆ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਛਾਣਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ। ਸੋ ਦੈਨ ਵੈਨ ਵੀ ਮੈਡੀਟੇਟਿੰਗ, ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਡਿਊਐਲਿਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਗੋਡ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਗੋਡ ਉਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਆ ਕੇ he can come and hug me and come into my life. But ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਮਤਲਬ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਪਛਾਣੀਏ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਰੱਬ ਉਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਲੱਭੀਏ, ਉਹ ਕੀ ਹੈਗਾ। And the only way to do that with meditation is ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਕਿ ਮਨ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਮਨ ਦਾ ਕੀ problems ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ। Mind is very useful as well. We use our mind, otherwise this whole world wouldn't exist. But we also have to understand the mind creates our problems. And with meditation we can actually see I don't need to spend all of my time with this. So we need to connect and do Naam Simran first with Gyan. First ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਕਹਿ ਕੀ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। If you understand the meaning of Ik Onkar, the whole of Guru Granth Sahib starts to make sense. Because we redefine the reason it's called the Mool Mantar is it's the start, it's the beginning, it's the root of the tree. If you're reading the rest of the tree but you don't understand the roots, then the tree won't make sense. You won't understand why it's talking about. So if you read the whole of Guru Granth Sahib without looking at Mool Mantar and Ik Onkar, then the whole of Guru Granth Sahib sounds like it's talking about Mr. God. If you read Mool Mantar from this non-dual perspective, which is me and God are one, there is a connection here. And that if I find it within myself, then all of Gurbani will make sense because it's talking about me. So when we start realizing that Guru Granth Sahib isn't talking about God, it's about you, then we realize that look at the whole world now. Self-help has become so important.
Yeah, that's true.
Guru Granth Sahib is the best self-help manual ever written because it talks about mind, it talks about why we get angry.
Explains everything.
Guru is talking about this, but asi Guru nu poojde ha. We keep Guru's, Sropa, we give Ramal, we give all this charawa, we do all these things, but padde nahi. We don't actually understand कि Guru sanu kya ki rahi hai.
पढ़ गड्ढे लद्दिए पढ़ मान ਅਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਪਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਬਾਣੀ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਕਿ ਇੰਨਾ ਬਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਇੰਨੀ ਥਾਵਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਜਪ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਚਾਅ ਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੇ ਭਾਰੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ ਪਰ ਇਹ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਜੋ ਲੱਗੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਬੱਚੇ ਇਸ ਪਾਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਦਕਾ ਹੀ ਇਹ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਖੜੀ ਆ ਹਨਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ Bhaji, so if somebody obviously like the Sangat watching, they might be asking, but I want to start meditating on Naam, but I don't know how to do it. What would be your vichar on that to the Sangat, to them? What would be your message?
And I think like first thing, like I said before, doing anything in isolation will not work.
So did that, like some people say, oh, I have to be on my own, or I need to go into the woods or something?
No. When I say isolation, I mean doing meditation without the other legs of the stool.
Right.
It won't make sense. So a lot of people are doing meditation right now, but it isn't necessarily getting them to the full result because we don't just do meditate in isolation. We have to first learn what the Guru is saying. And this is the kind of this three-step approach that we're trying to do with Nanak Naam charity, which is that you need to learn the message of it, then you need to practice it. If you practice it, they say a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. So if you practice meditation on your own, you know what ends up happening? You start building your hankar.
Right.
Your hankar says, I meditate now, I'm better than all the people that don't meditate. The meditation is supposed to get rid of your ego, but because you don't understand what the ego is, it starts building your ego. So Naam has to be done with Gyan first. You have to get the Guru's Gyan, then the Guru will tell you how to do Naam Simran. But there are some very, very easy steps that we can take. The purpose of Naam Simran is that we lose less of our attachment to ourselves, and we realize that the mind and body that we have, this is temporary, and that there's something within us that's permanent. So when we're meditating on Naam, what we're doing is connecting with our more permanent self. And you do that, and Guru says what's the best way to do it. When you wake up in the morning, give yourself 5 minutes. What do we do when we wake up in the morning? First thing you do, you start thinking about all the things that you have to do in your day. So you wake up in the morning, you're already late, you're already, your mind's in a rush. Guru says that's the best time. Sit down. First, Gur Satgur ka jo sikho khaye so palke uthar naam kya. Just give yourself 5 minutes and just say, I'm gonna meditate for 5 minutes. And our meditation is Naam, which is that you take a mantra. The purpose of mantra, we have to understand, is to lose our attachment with ourselves. Kabir, tu karta, tu hua. That's the purpose of meditation. Tu hi kardeya, tusi aap Paramatma ban jante ho. So that's the purpose. Otherwise we think I'm meditating, but I don't really understand why I'm meditating. I just want to relax more.
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਈ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਲੋਕੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਆਮ ਆਪਣੇ ਖਾਸ ਕਰ ਬੀਬੀਆਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਬੀਬੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਡਿਪਰੈਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸਮਝਾਉਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਖਿੱਚੋ ਤਾਂ ਆਮ ਹੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਵਿਆਹ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਕੋਈ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਕੋਈ ਹਸਬੈਂਡ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਕੋਈ ਡਰਿੰਕਿੰਗ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਲਾਸਾਂ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਆ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਮਿਲੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਈਏ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਮਿਲੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਆਵੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਲਾਸਾਂ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਕੈਂਪ ਵਗੈਰਾ
What we started to do was classes have been going on for a long time. We decided that actually what the focus needs to be is to move. We need to go where the people are. So the people aren't coming to the Gurdwara anymore. That's dying out. But they're sitting on the internet all day. So we said, let's do prachar on the internet. We've started to do every Tuesday evening, there's a half an hour live meditation. And that gets recorded. You can sit there and practice it with us. And anywhere in the world, people can do that. And we're also starting to put a lot more meditations online. So that people can actually start. You know, when we think about meditation, we think that it has to be done just by sitting down for an hour or 2 hours. And we've understood meditation from a very Buddhist perspective. We don't understand that Sikhi has a meditation. Sada meditation ki hai uthat baitat sovat jagat iman tujhe chitara. Like, so our meditation is while you're brushing your teeth, tu hi, while you're taking a shower, tu hi. We have to get into a practice ke meditation sirf Sunday nu nahi hunda. While you're doing simple things, roti banande tu hi, waheguru. So we lose our attachment to our mind.
Baji, my question is, you know, the meditation you were saying about taking a mantra. Okay, so say if somebody's is just waheguru, that's they can do that, right?
Absolutely.
Anywhere they are.
I feel the great thing about Gurbani is Gurbani hasn't restricted us to any mantra.
Okay, I understand.
Guru Granth Sahib Ji has so many mantras. Har har tera naam hai, tu hi. Gurbani even says, Kabir Allah ki kar bandagi, jaise simrat dukh jaye. Kabir says, do meditation on Allah. If you meditate on that, your dukh will go down.
Understand. Okay.
So we're not restricted by it. And one of the things that I teach is, if Punjabi isn't your first language, do it in English.
Right, okay.
And so one of the things, if we take tu hi, and convert that into English, one of the things I teach is, this is you. So you start learning, this isn't me, this mind isn't me, this is you. So I meditate on that and I teach, this is you, and it works for me. Because having been brought up in English, you think in English, so why can't we meditate in English?
But this is the thing, Baji, a lot of people who are watching might be struggling with, you know, English obviously being that's their first language, and they don't speak Punjabi at home. And they think that you can only connect to the Guru, or you can only connect by obviously speaking in Punjabi or doing a part and everything in Punjabi, you know, like you were saying. So you've now kind of taken another perspective on that and said, well, no, you can actually do Simran. So we can say tu hi. So if you could kind of give a little bit more of a message to the youngsters out there.
That's the first reason why we're teaching everything in English, is that we on our YouTube channel there is so much information that's available in English about different types of meditations, different understanding that we need to have for meditation. But I don't think we need to dismiss Gurbani. Ultimately, Gurbani is written in a language that allows people to get the real essence. And when you translate it, you miss some of that essence. So, and I think even the previous guests were talking about how you need to start off with English and feel free to use that to get into Sikhi, but there is something about the original language which just really gives you that depth of understanding which you don't necessarily get. So I think we don't need to feel guilty that we don't understand it. I remember when I was young and I first got into Sikhi, I was doing Nitnem and I just didn't understand any of it. And my mum said to me, what at the time said very, very frustrating. She says, "Holi holi aajuga." And I said, how will it make sense? But she was right. Now, spending time and time with it, now I can read the Gurmukhi and I can see this is where the translation has gone wrong, because I'm becoming more and more familiar with it. But go back 20 years ago and it didn't make any sense to me.
So ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੋ, try ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾਲ। ਤੇ ਬਾਣੀ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੌਖੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਈਜ਼ੀ ਆ, ਹਨਾ। ਸੋ ਇਟ ਵਾਸ ਗੁੱਡ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਨੀ ਤੇ ਬੋਲਣੀ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ।
And that's a very important message. Punjabi is actually quite an easy language to learn. When you're reading it, it's very easy language to learn. Far easier to learn than English is.
Yeah, I understand. But I think people get scared that, oh, you know, my kiddas Sikhna, it's really hard. But you're saying, Baji, is quite...
But the message of Sikhi is not limited to the Punjabis.
I understand, yeah,
Guru Nanak Dev Ji travelled all across the world. He didn't tell people, learn Punjabi first, then I'll teach you.
Yeah, I understand.
He went to Tibet, he went to Baghdad, he went to the south. So, and Guru Granth Sahib Ji is written in Gurmukhi, but it's got several languages in there. It's not just got Punjabi as the language. There's lots of languages in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So we need to start going out to people and saying, okay, if you don't know Punjabi, Guru Nanak Dev Ji is still relevant for you. The message of Bani is still relevant for you. We'll just have to do it in the language that makes sense to you.
And Baji, can you tell the Sangat, obviously, how has meditation changed, you know, your life? How can it change other people's lives as well, just so that they realise how important it is?
That is such a good question. Meditation is such a fundamental gift in our life. I was brought up in a Sikh family, and I went to the Gurdwara and I did all of the normal things on a Sunday that you do, and I went to the Gurmat camps, but it wasn't until I was introduced to meditation that for the first time you open Guru Granth Sahib and you say, I get it. I know what it's talking about. And what meditation does is what the rest of the material world doesn't do for you. Everyone is looking for happiness. Everybody has been convinced that happiness is by buying things.
Yeah.
Even though when we're children we're told money can't buy happiness, we do it anyway. And the question I would ask is, tell me one thing that you've bought in your life that has given you lifelong happiness. Everything wears off. No relationship gives you that cushy for life. No material possession gives that. What meditation does is you go within yourself, and people are scared to go within themselves because they think that there's something very dark and almost empty inside them. Guru says when you go inside your emptiness, you find there's a fountain of happiness within you. Because you are for the first time not listening to the noise of your mind. The noise of your mind is telling you, you haven't got enough right now, go and get this and go and get that. And that's this constant state of dukh that we're in. Your mind is constantly telling you, you haven't got enough, you're not successful enough, you haven't got a big enough car, you haven't got enough money, you're not married yet, you haven't got children, your children aren't married. So your mind is always giving you more dukh. If you step away from your mind, you realize, I'm already happy.
It's true.
Happiness is already there. It's not something that I have to grow within me.
ਭਾਜੀ ਇਹੀ ਤਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਬਰ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਬਰ ਸੰਤੋਖ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ, ਹਨਾ? ਅਸੀਂ ਕਾਲੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਾੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੁਝ ਅੱਜ ਚੰਗਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਉਹ ਗੋਡ ਇਜ਼ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ, ਅਸੀਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਨਾ। ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦਿਨ ਜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਾੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੋਈ ਤਕਲੀਫ ਹੋ ਗਈ, ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਖਾਰ ਚੜ ਗਿਆ, ਰੱਬ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ,
ਰੱਬ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ। If there's a God, then why do these bad things happen? So we've externalized God. We're talking about Mr. God all the time.
Baji, we haven't got a lot of time left, but I do obviously want you to give the Sangat information of where they can get more information, where they can contact you. If you could please let them know, because I know a lot of people are going to be watching this and thinking, right, I need to get in touch.
Excellent. So we are available on YouTube. It's the YouTube channel is called Nanak Naam org. We also have a Facebook page which is /nanaknaam.org, and again our website is nanaknaam.org. And what we've got on there is a lot of information of how you can start to understand Guru Granth Sahib Ji. How do you start to understand Hukam? How do you start to make, and what we've done is everything we've made as possible, as relevant and personal to your life. So you're not going to go there and find stories of the gurus and all those sort of things. We have a lot of that prachar happening already. This is purely about how do I improve the quality of my life. So www.nanaknaam.org. We're starting to register as a charity. I've now left my work as of about 6 months ago. I'm now doing this full time. So any support that people can give and anything like that will be much appreciated.
Thank you so much, Bhaji. It's been lovely to have you in the show, and we will call you on in the future. So thank you. Sangat Ji, if there's any other feedback you would like to give us, we're always saying to you, please do let us know. Your feedback is important to us, so please do let us know. Please join us next week on the breakfast show. If ਸਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਹੋਈਆਂ, ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਚੁੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਾਫੀ। ਅਗਲੀ ਵੀਕ ਫੇਰ ਮਿਲਾਂਗੇ। So we see you then. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।